Amazing, guys. So this is going to be module 6 of the global affordable perfume marketing business. So far we've covered in the last two module, that's module 4 and 5. We looked at the global affordable perfume marketing business. The first, we look at the investor's approach. Then number 2, which is module 5, we look at the operator's approach. So it's good that you take time to watch those two modules, especially module 4 and module 5, which has covered the investor's approach and the operator or the employee's approach. Now, if you notice, one of the things you discover is that we did those two models so that the investor, someone who has 150k, 200k, 500k, 1 million naira to invest into the global perfume marketing business, has a template that they can work with, right? You have a template that you can actually work with as an investor. You know how to put your money there. You know how to work with the first person you want to hire to run a business on your behalf. Because as an investor, like we said, you have the money, but you don't have the time to start selling perfume on the streets or to start managing social media to sell perfume. But that does not remove the fact that if you are able to put structures in place, right, which part of also this course is designed to help you accomplish, you will not just pick only 1, 2, 3, but you pick at least 5 on the graduate youths who are right now struggling with unemployment out of the streets. It will be a cheap possibility for if you know what you're doing and you take your time to go through this entire modules of this course, right? Then also for module 5, who deals with the employee's approach, right? Who don't have the money but have the time. So you want to seek for someone to be able to invest into you for the business that you are doing. Now let me say this here, right? What some of us don't know is that what you're learning in this course can actually be applied in every other business. Let's say, for instance, you are an employee or an operator. You are interested in a particular business, right? Maybe not the affordable perfume marketing business, or you're interested in another business. What you want to figure out is, in the context of all you've learned from this entire course, especially in module 5, where we deal with the employee approach, how can you generate marketing or leads, right? We're going to look at that in module 7. This is module 6. That is managing your business, right? Talking about growth, accounts, generating leads, customer acquisition, and all that. We'll do that in module 7. But this module 6, how do you, all the things you've learned so far, especially in module 5, how do you incorporate this entirety you've learned, right? Like building your customer base to at least 600 every month, right? How do you accomplish that? How can you break that down and apply that to your business? Because you don't have any business starting a business. You don't have any business starting any business until you have figured out your customer acquisition process or your customer acquisition strategy. How are you going to acquire customers? So you have no business, right, starting a business if, number 1, you have not figured out the problem that you want to solve. Number 2, you have not figured out the target market that has this problem, right, that you want to solve. And number 3, you have not figured out how you're going to be acquiring them and acquire at least your first customer, which is a major part of the operational process. So you can apply everything we've shared so far in this module 6, then also module 5 especially. How can you apply these things into any business as a template? Don't wait for us to tell you everything, but I just needed to see that, right? So in this module 6, what we're going to be looking at is the owner's approach. We have looked at the investor's approach. We have looked at the employee's approach or the operator's approach. Now we want to look at the owner's approach. Let's assume that this is your business. You don't need investors to invest in you. Neither do you need employees. Like you don't need investors to invest in you as an operator or an employee. neither are you investing the money into a business for somebody else to run for you. You want to be the one that is fully in charge of this global perfume marketing. You want to be in charge of your entire business. That which means you have the time and you have the resources. In this mode, we are looking at the owner's approach, right? Before we move into that, don't forget that my name is Dara Rubasa. I'm a life after school coach. I'm a quantum leap enabler. I'm a value market strategist. I'm a goals achievers expert, and above all, I am an SMS certified master fundraiser with over 10 years experience across board. First of all, there is something that is called the business of a profession and the profession itself. They are not the same thing, because in every profession, right, there is the profession itself, then there is the business of the profession. I will explain this, then I will show you how, as an operator, the kind of spirit, as the owner of the business, also an operator, of course, you are the operator and you are the owner of the business, right? What kind of mindset do you have? What kind of drive should you possess? What kind of commitment should you put into this? This is your personal business that we are talking about here. You are not just an investor in the business, you are also, right, the owner of this business. So what kind of mindset do you have? What kind of approach should you put into your business as the owner and at the same time as the operator of the business? Your mindset about this business is important. That is why you need to make a distinction and understand that there is the difference between the profession and the business of that profession, right? Take Don Jazzy for an instance, right? Don Jazzy used to work with the band. For those of us who have that background story, at least you know the name. Don Jazzy is a popular music entrepreneur, right? Now, from Mohit that he founded with the band, right now we have Marvin's Records. That a large part of that business was sold, or that record label was sold, I think in 2024 for when the business was estimated, it was over 120 million to 200 million dollars in terms of what assets and all that, right? And he sold a major part of that to Sony Records, right? Now, you will agree with me. Now, you may not agree with me. Let me say that. You may argue, we can argue, and you can agree, you may not agree. But I think that Don Jazzy is not so much the greatest of singers, right? Inspirational, yes, right? Fantastic guy. He can move the crowd. Everybody loves Don Jazzy, right? Fantastic guy. I can guarantee you that. But not necessarily, most definitely the greatest of singers that we have seen across Nigeria or have seen across Africa. But guess what? From Tiwa Savage to Korede Bello to Johnny Dream to Arya Star to Rema, and just mention the names, right, in Nigeria and Africa, as it were. That guy has built from scratch, right, over $400 million worth of business empire. Not just because you understand the music industry, but because you understand the business of music industry, of the music industry. You understand that entire ecosystem. Take another example, for instance. Also, look at like civil engineering, for instance. Civil engineering there is a civil engineer, right? The man that have the knowledge of drawing. You have architects, you have the civil engineer that translates the building project into physical pegging and all that. Then you have the bricklayers, right? Now, what you will discover is that there is a skill and the expertise that is required to become what? To become a civil engineer, right? Then there is another skill that is required to translate that building, because a civil engineer is not necessarily a bricklayer. There is a bricklayer who have the skills also to set blocks and to translate the building from paper, working with the civil engineer, into a building. Then there is the business of what? Civil engineering. Now, in that context, what we discover is that It doesn't matter the profession, it doesn't matter the career path. What you will discover is that those who makes the most money in every business, right, are those who understands what the business side of that profession or that career. That's why you have people who cannot. We even talk about Don Jazzy that can sing, right? There are business managers, music business managers who cannot sing, who have never sang a song, but who are worth much more in terms of millions of dollars across the world, who are worth much more than their musicians or those who sign into their record label. They are worth much more than those who sing for them or their artists. Why? Because they understand what? The business of music. They understand the business aspect. So somebody else has the craft, somebody else has the skill, somebody else has the expertise, but those who will make the most money from the business, from that skill or that expertise, are those who understand what? The business side of the profession. And also understand, for instance, another example is the fashion designers, because there is fashion designing as a skill, right? And there is the business of fashion designing. They are not the same thing. They are not the same thing. So, which brings us to the mindset that you have when it comes to your operations and your commitment as the owner of this business. Your approach cannot be the same thing. Your mindset cannot be the same thing. Your thinking cannot be the same thing. Why am I saying this? Because in module 4 we talked about how that as an investor, one of the things you want to make sure of is to first of all hire someone, allow the person to go through this entire course from start to finish, right? Or you can pick one module that deals with the marketing aspect of the business and give the person to go through. When the person have gone through this module, then you give them the assignment for the first 30 days that they're going to be on a salary. They use the first 30 days to learn everything they need to learn. They use the next 30 days rather, to start executing what they've learned, which is going for marketing, customer acquisition. When we talk about, you should give them a target of talking to 10 people every day. At that phase, you are making it easy for them to come in. 10 people every day. That is 300, right? In a month. That is your first client base. Number 2, in module 5, we look at the operator's approach or the employee's approach, where we move the target from 10 for investors, then we move it to 20 for an operator, someone who is trying to get results, so that you are able to please or to position yourself in the heart of your investor who you want to pitch to for your business. So you have 20 people you are talking to every day. That is 600 in a month. And it is this client base that you're going to be using to convince whoever you need to give you money to do what, to invest in you. That makes sense, right? Now, when it comes to you as the owner, you are the investor, you are the operator, you are the employee. It begins with you, right? You are not going to, don't do 20. Don't do 10. Because as far as this course is concerned, the global affordable marketing perfume, what we are dealing with here is the fact that you are not yet at that place where you are as in manufacturing your own product. You have your own team. No, you are not there yet. Where you are now is the place where you are still buying already made and already branded perfumes. What that should tell you is that you have all the time in this world. You have all the time as the owner of this business who is fully in charge. You are the investor and you are the operator, you are the employee. You have all the time in this world. So you shouldn't be talking about doing 10 like we talked about in the investor's approach. You shouldn't be talking about doing 20 like we talked about in the operator's approach. In this owner's approach, you should be doing at least every day. Even before you order for your first product, at least every day, talk to at least 50 people on a daily basis. Do this consistently for the first 30 days. At least means that's the least you should do, which means you can do 100. 50 people every day will give you, by 30 in a month, will give you, speaking to at least 1,500 people about the perfume business. If you are doing 100, for instance, that is 3,000 people have heard about your product. 3,000 people will give you a full 2,000 plus WhatsApp group and extra. Of course, in module 7, we're going to look at your work, you manage your system, your WhatsApp, managing your WhatsApp, your getting customer leads and all that. All that management we'll get to it in the next module. But what we are looking at here is the owner's approach. Talking to at least 50 people every day. 50 people every day will give you 1,500 people that have heard about your business, who you have engaged with for the first time about your business, across all the targeted areas we've mentioned. You incorporate everything we shared from module 1 all the way to module 5. This is module 6. So you incorporate all that, go looking at all the marketing channels we mentioned, from church, what's going to be your approach in churches, from the courtroom to lawyers' offices, to shopping malls, to what else did we mention? To car wash centers, all the 14 or thereabout marketing channels that were mentioned. And of course, if you've not paid for this course, you're watching it for you on Facebook or on YouTube, you will not have access to all the PDF materials that were mentioned. So if you need to pay for the course, why not? Just the course alone, absolutely fantastic. You pay for it and you are good to go. So you will need to have use the market that we have shared and begin to work on all the channels, from barber shop to car wash centers to gym centers. Just incorporate all that and making sure that you are talking to at least 50 people every day. That is 1,500 people that heard about your business from you directly. They've met you physically, they've interacted with you physically. This is different from using online digital marketing to get your customers. That is part of it. But what we are looking at now is exerting your physical energy to interact. I know the world has become global. The people talk about selling things online. In fact, we have a training on e-commerce. But this is you starting a business from like zero capital up. If you were to hire a digital marketer right now, can you afford to pay the person to design your sales funnels, to set up your Facebook ad, to manage everything? So this is the approach of starting from zero capital to the place of making your first 200,000 naira in profit, pure profit, in the first 60 to what? To the first 30 to 60 days. This is what you do. You use this approach to begin to drive your sales. Customer acquisition, very, very important. So guys, this is module 6. It's about the owner's approach. Like I said, there is a difference between the business of a profession and the profession itself. And the business of every profession deals largely with customer acquisition, getting to interact with your customers, getting to get their contacts, getting to manage that entire ecosystem, right? From getting their start, from getting the lead, to getting them to pay for your first product and remaining consistent, customer satisfaction. All this is the business aspect of every profession, which is different from the profession itself. So guys, as the owner of this business, right, we've shared everything that they look at. We've looked at what are the potentials of this business. This business is transgenerational, which means that you can build it as an owner, right? That it becomes something that your kids can inherit. It can be built into a business empire. In terms of potential, it is transgenerational. Number 2, it is also trans age, right? We'll be using that word often in this course. Trans age means that it is not limited by age. There is perfume from kids, there is perfume for adults, there is perfume for teenagers, there is perfume for young youths. So you can segment, the potentials are huge. As you begin to grow, you can begin to do what? To expand and begin to talk about different things that have to, different market segment, market entry into different these angles, because your marketing approach is going to be different for each of them. As the owner, you have to know that the business is what? Is unlimited in terms of potentials. Number 3, it is transgenerational, which means from generation to generation, even from your Bible days to your Quran to the wise books that you have out there, right? Each of them talk about scents and perfume. So the business is what? Is transgenerational, is trans age, is transgender, which means it's gone beyond any gender, whether male or female. Everyone uses perfume. It's transcontinental. So the potentials are limited. This is why, as the owner of this business, your approach should be that of someone who is what? Who is building a real business from scratch. And if you understand what you're doing, everything we've shared in this course, right, you can put in the first 3 months. Let's say you do this consistently for 3 months. The first 30 days, you acquired a total of 3,000 customers. That is 100 people every day. Is it going to be easy? No. The second month, you acquire again another 100 customer per day. Talking to 100 people every day. That is 6,000 customers you've reached already in 2 months. On the 3rd month again, you do the same thing, 100 people every day within your location. In total, you would have done 9,000 customer base that you have acquired for your business. And I can guarantee you, if you know what you're doing, right, applying everything we've mentioned in this global perfume marketing business, this course, right, by the end of the 3 months or even the end of 60 days, you would have moved the business from just employing only you to at least 2 extra people that should be brought in as staff. And within 1 year to 2 years to 3 years, you built a business from scratch, right? That you can actually remove yourself over time, and the business will be able to do what? To run itself. So guys, this is the owner's approach. And as I round up in this the owner's approach, right, this module 6, what are some factors that could serve as your motivation towards building this business and towards committing yourself that you are building a business from scratch up? The first factor I think that you should think about in investing your time for your business into this business so that you can get the best of results is, number 1, is that you are building this, right, as a legacy. This can become a legacy business for you. It can become a legacy business if you put in the work, if you do the work of an evangelist, right? I can guarantee you, in 1 year you would have built a business with a structural platform that can grow into something transgenerational. So you have to know that. That's the first benefit you should think about. This can be built into a legacy business because perfumes are what? Are transgenerational. They are transcontinental. They are not age limited. They are transgender. They go beyond one gender, right? Male, female. Everybody uses perfume. It's not religious limited. The potentials are unlimited. Think about that. Number 2, also, why you should commit yourself into building this business from scratch, right, is the place of a wealthy retirement. If you build this well and you grow from buying perfume from other people and you grow into the place of manufacturing your own perfumes, which the last part of this course also cover, we give you access to people who are already do training for, if you want to start your own perfume brand, right? get access to those courses. You can pay for them separately. Then when you get to that point, you can start get to the point where you start building your own perfume line and produce your own perfume fragrances and scents and all that not, right? If you get to that point, right, you'll be able to build a business into which you can either resign or retire. You can either resign or retire. So one, the business can be inherited. Think about that. You can build this into a legacy business. And number two, it is something that you can ultimately retire into. For instance, some of us right now, you work somewhere you don't even like where you're working. You are looking for a means of how to get out of this, how to get out of that place. Or you are looking towards building a business into which you want to resign. Or right now you are even unemployed. Maybe you are husband and wife. You're not doing anything right now, and it's your wife that's supporting you. Or you are a wife who is at home because you have not found anything yet to do right now in terms of jobs, right? You can actually invest your time into this, and the wife can build this business with every sense of commitment. And over time, maybe the wife can resign to join the husband, or if it's the wife that is building, the husband can resign to join his wife, and you guys as a team can build this into a legacy business that is transgenerational in terms of impact, in terms of income, and in terms of a wealthy retirement anywhere across the African continent. So that brings us to the end of this module 6 of the global affordable perfume marketing business. Don't forget, my name is Dan Abibasa. I'm a life after school coach. I'm a quantum leap enabler. I'm a value market strategist. I'm a goals achievers expert and above all. I am an certified master fundraiser with over 10 years experience across board. Bye for now. See you in module 7. We'll be discussing the business management process of the perfume marketing business. How do you manage your business from structures of customer reach into structures of lead generation, into structures of customer acquisition? How do you manage the entire process? Because of technology, it has become actually easy for you to manage. So look forward to seeing you in module 7. Bye for now.